One rainy battle in 1757 changed India forever. Before that day, Bengal was a jewel. It was a province of staggering riches, a land of plenty that dazzled all who saw it. Its capital, Murshidabad, was a sprawling metropolis. Contemporaries compared it favorably to London, finding it more populous, more vibrant, and infinitely wealthier. The fields yielded immense harvests of rice, silk, cotton. Artisans in its countless workshops wove textiles so fine they were known as woven air. These were the muslins calicos that clothed the aristocrats of Europe and adorned the courts of Asia. Bengal was the engine of the Mughal Empire's economy, a treasure chest that seemed to have no bottom. The wealth was not just in its products, but in its trade. The Ganges, the Brahmaputra, acted as natural highways. They carried goods from the interior to bustling ports like Hooghly-Chittagong. From there, ships set sail for destinations across the known world. They journeyed to the spice islands of Indonesia, the markets of Persia, the shores of the Ottoman Empire. This immense flow of commerce brought a constant stream of gold and silver into the province. It was this glittering prize that drew the ambitious and the rapacious from across the seas. To the European trading companies, Bengal was not just a market, it was the ultimate jackpot. Among these foreign adventurers, the English East India Company was the most aggressive. It had started as a humble group of merchants, a corporation with a royal charter to trade in the East. But over a century and a half, it had transformed. It was no longer just a trading firm, it had become a militarized colonial enterprise. It was a corporation acting with the power of a state, a strange hybrid entity that mixed commerce with conquest. Its directors in London, hungry for ever larger dividends, pushed its agents in India to be bold, to take risks, and to secure any advantage possible. The company's power grew steadily. It established key trading posts, or factories, at Calcutta, Bombay, Madras. These were more than warehouses. They were fortified enclaves of British power on Indian soil. From these footholds, the company played a careful game of politics and warfare. It meddled in the affairs of local princes, offering military support to one ruler against another in exchange for trading rights and territory. This strategy of divide and conquer had proven remarkably effective elsewhere in India. Now the company's gaze was fixed firmly on Bengal, the richest province of them all. The stage was being set for a confrontation of epic proportions. The throne of Bengal was occupied by Siraj-ud-Dowlah. He was a young man, barely into his 20s when he became Nawab in 1756. He inherited a court riddled with intrigue and traitors. Powerful figures within his own family and administration resented his authority. Siraj was impetuous and proud, acutely aware of the threat surrounding him. He saw the growing power of the English in Calcutta not as a commercial partnership, but as a direct challenge to his sovereignty. The company's officials behaved with an arrogance he found intolerable. They were fortifying Calcutta without his permission, abusing their trading privileges, giving shelter to his enemies. The tension was palpable, a dry tinderbox waiting for a spark. That spark came quickly. From Madras, the company dispatched a formidable expeditionary force. It was commanded by Robert Clive. Clive was a man of immense ambition and few scruples, a brilliant but deeply flawed military commander who had risen from a clerk's desk to become the company's most effective soldier. He was tasked with one mission: to retake Calcutta and punish the Nawab. Clive arrived in Bengal with a small but highly disciplined army, European soldiers, Indian sepoys. He quickly recaptured Calcutta, but his ambitions went far beyond simple restoration. He saw an opportunity not just to defeat Siraj, but to replace him with a puppet ruler who would serve the company's interests. Clive began to weave a web of conspiracy. He knew he could not defeat Siraj's massive army in a straight fight. The Nawab's forces outnumbered his by more than 10 to 1, so he sought victory through other means. Treachery. He opened secret negotiations with the disaffected commanders in the Nawab's own camp. The most important of these was Mir Jafar, Siraj-ud-Dowlah's uncle, the commander-in-chief of his army. Mir Jafar was an older, ambitious man who believed the throne of Bengal should have been his. Clive offered him a deal. If Mir Jafar would betray his nephew on the battlefield, the company would make him the new Nawab. A secret treaty was signed. The two armies converged near the small village of Plassey, nestled in a grove of mango trees by the banks of the Bhagirathi River. The date was June 23, 1757. On one side stood Siraj-ud-Dowlah's vast host, a magnificent, almost medieval spectacle. 50,000 men, thousands of cavalry, a powerful artillery train with French gunners, war elephants, armored and bearing howdahs. It was the old order of India, a force that seemed capable of sweeping away any obstacle. On the other side, Clive's tiny force of just 3,000 soldiers, disciplined, professional, armed with modern muskets and cannons, perilously outnumbered. The battle began at dawn with an artillery duel. The Nawab's cannons thundered across the plains. Clive's smaller mobile guns returned fire with greater accuracy. For hours they exchanged fire under the hot Bengali sun, with little movement. Clive's men sheltered in the mango grove using the trees and a high mud bank for cover. The Nawab's army was a sea of men, but divided. Key commanders, including Mir Jafar, held back their large divisions. They feigned participation, refusing to commit. Around noon the sky turned black. The monsoon broke, a torrential downpour. Mud swallowed the battlefield. The Nawab's men failed to protect their gunpowder. When the rain stopped, their cannons fell silent. Damp powder.